everyone. Welcome to This Day. It is Saturday, February 26th. Now, on our show today, we have amazing hearing with Anne Mundell Noel, and we have the Sunshine Performance Club with Sunshine Lute. And she's here to tell us all about the history of the Sunshine Performance Club and what they have coming up. All right, let's take a look at our weather. We are looking at clear skies, but still on the chillier side, but we will at least make it into the 70s this weekend. 72, 43, 71, 44, and then sunny and getting warmer, 74, 49. If you are traveling in the state of California or heading over to Vegas, take a look at these numbers. We are looking at 63.52 locally, 65.50 San Diego, 66.42 Santa Barbara, and Tahoe 45.15, Big Bear 52, Tahoe 42.19, Mammoth 40.17, and Big Bear 45.20. Palm Springs is 72.50 and Las Vegas 59.37. All right, our sunrise this morning was 6:23, and our sunset 5:45. Thank you, Alan, for sending in this wonderful photo of a beautiful sky right here in Laguna Woods Village. We appreciate you sending that in. And if you have a photo that you would like to share with our community, please email it to lagunawoodsvillagetv@gmail.com. All right, when we come back, we will have Anne Mundell Noel with Amazing Hearing. So stick around.
I was battling 4 different kinds of cancer, all in stage 4. Although I was determined to fight, I had also put my affairs in order. But my team at Hoag refused to give up and enrolled me in a phase 1 clinical trial. This changed everything.
Hoag Family Cancer Institute has the largest phase 1 clinical trial program in Orange County and ranks in the top 10% of cancer programs nationwide. Deb became one of only 12 people in the world with advanced lung cancer to receive this leading-edge cancer therapy, and it saved her life.
Hoag is leading the way in some of the most advanced personalized medicine in cancer with molecular imaging and therapy, immunotherapy, and a multitude of other patient-driven clinical research trials.
My cancer care was a life or death decision, and I chose Hoag.
Now more than ever, your healthcare choices matter. Choose Hoag.
There are many treasures within the walls of Laguna Woods Village. The foundation of Laguna Woods Village is one of them. Nowhere in the nation has a community embraced a commitment to assist its own residents with temporary emergency support. Since 1997, the foundation makes that support available through donations by individuals, clubs, organizations, and bequests. Help the foundation to help the real treasures within the village, our friends and neighbors.
Welcome back. As I mentioned, we have Anne Mundell Noel here on behalf of Amazing Hearing. Well, thank you for joining us today. How are you?
I'm wonderful, Lisa. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. And we were talking a little bit off camera about some exciting things that you will be talking about later. So can't wait to hear about that. But first and foremost, of course, we always want to talk about, you know, having your best hearing and what that, you know, what does that involve? So what do you mean when you want to make sure that you're hearing the absolute best you can?
Yeah, so what we mean by that is we don't realize that there is a connection between our brain and our body, and our ears and our brain. So what happens with that is that we want to make sure we get the complete signal. If you're not getting a complete signal, you are doing some compensatory strategies that you might not be aware of, and it puts stress on your body. And so what we want to do is to inform people that when you are hearing your best, to the best of your ability, you're taking stress off your body and you're giving yourself the best chance for successful communication.
Okay, all right, that makes sense. And then I know that you've mentioned before about your brain and that, you know, making it stronger is really important. However you do that, either, you know, maybe reading or playing games or things like that. How does that correlate to better hearing?
So the way that that correlates is that we don't realize the connection between, like I said, the brain and the ear. So if you are not getting a complete signal in, you are doing the compensatory things that I talked about.
Right.
You are having, the brain cannot remember what it doesn't hear, right? So if you don't get the full message in, you can't retain it. So if I were to say you and I are communicating and let's say we have a second to process the sound. If I broke that second down into 10 segments, the beginning part would be I'm presenting the message. The middle section, or maybe 4 milliseconds, would be the processing of your brain. 2 seconds would be how I'm going to react to it, and 2 seconds would be retention.
Wow.
So the process goes, you deliver it, I process it, I take it in and do something with it, and then I retain it. If you are having hearing loss, you are spending more time taking the message in and trying to figure out, did she say me or knee? Did you tell me to talk about the fishes or the dishes? Right? So if I'm taking more information on the front end, then I don't have as much time on the back end to react to it and to retain it. And so what happens is we forget things, and then we are confusing things because the brain is not getting its full message. So that's why we say the brain cannot remember what it doesn't hear. Is because it's not that we don't have the capacity, but we spent too much time with the processing on the front end.
Right.
So the way that we get stronger with that is to be intentional about our communications. So things that we want to do is to improve the quality of our hearing, because there's other factors, not only memory, that are being affected when you have hearing loss.
Well, you know, we talk a lot to people with that work with folks with Alzheimer's and dementia and things like that, and they talk a lot about how you can prepare your brain or play games and things like that that help you think a lot more, and so you're really using your brain. So those kinds of things are super effective?
They are. That is called hearing therapy, and we have different strategies as audiologists on how to do hearing therapy. There are games you can play, but the biggest part is, again, going back to that first part that we were talking about, is making sure you're strong in your hearing, that you are getting exactly what you need. Because the effects of hearing loss are great. Initially, understanding, right? We don't have communication. We misinterpret what's being said. People get frustrated when I'm talking about one thing, or you have to ask me to repeat. You give an incorrect answer. The communication itself gets broken down, but also our balance is affected when our hearing isn't as strong as it needs to be, because our ears give us localization and they help us with space and time. So balance comes from our eyes, our ears, and the bottom of our feet. And so if the hearing organism isn't strong, then the ear is not participating as well as it can be. So when we strengthen that, people go, oh, I feel more secure, I'm more settled in where I'm at. We talked about the cognitive decline, the memory, right? So the memory can't store it as well because it didn't get it in correctly in the beginning. And then isolation and depression, right? So I don't participate because I think I'm going to give the wrong answer. I don't want you to think I'm stupid, or I don't want you to think that I don't care. So if I isolate and pull back, then I won't give the wrong answer. And so that's another way that if you're not strong in your hearing, your overall health is declining. And then finally, alertness, that we don't realize when we have hearing loss how much stress it puts on our neck and our back, because we're leaning forward, we're kind of here, we're trying to get the message, and we're actually using more mental energy to try to process the message, especially if we're in background noise. So people coming out of these COVID times and getting more social are realizing, oh my gosh, I'm not hearing as well as I used to. And a big part of that is just like not exercising. Your body needs to take time. So I just want to encourage people to get stronger with their hearing. Go back and start wearing those hearing aids that maybe they slipped on or didn't use as much, because that really will make a huge impact on your overall mental health, for sure.
Well, plus they were home and they didn't really go anywhere, so it's like, I don't need them, right? And then they're not they may not have used them for a couple of years, and they may not have had them checked in a couple of years.
Right, so that's why we want to encourage anybody who's wearing hearing aids. We have the ability to actually objectively measure to see if the hearing aid is working to the best of its ability.
Okay.
So even if you haven't been a patient with us, and even if you bought them somewhere else, you are welcome to come in, and for a nominal fee, we can run your hearing aid and make sure it's operating optimally. It's an objective test. It's not just, hey, how does that sound to you?
Right, okay, good.
Yeah.
And then people are starting to come back together in the clubhouses, and there are facilities here that do looping. So tell me a little bit about what that means.
Yeah, so I'm really excited to say that while during the COVID time that the performing arts got looped. And what that means is that there is actually a program in your hearing aid. And not all hearing aids have this, but there is a program that if you go into the T coil, for telecoil, and somebody is talking to a microphone in a room that's looped with that T coil, meaning that there is actually a wire around the room that is hooked into the microphone. So when I talk into that microphone, if you're sitting in the audience and you have your hearing aid in the T coil program, what I'm saying from this microphone directly goes into your hearing aid. So it doesn't matter if you're sitting in the first row or the 50th row, it's going to sound the same. So the people up front don't have an advantage. So the big part is by going into the Performing Arts Center, when somebody's on stage and they're performing, you're going to hear the punchline. You're going to hear what's being said because it's coming right into the hearing aid. But again, you have to have that program on your hearing aid, and you have to be in that.
Okay.
So we have that actually in our office.
Okay.
So we have a loop that's hooked up to one of our TV sets, and you can walk in, put your hearing aid on that T, and you would hear the TV, even though it's muted. So nobody else in our office is hearing it, but if you put it on the T, you would hear the input because that TV is hooked up to a loop.
Oh, that's great. And thank goodness that the Performing Arts Center got that. I mean, that's where we have all of our, obviously, performances that more than 500 people can go to, so that's just great.
And I do want to commend, Tony Barriant and the Mission Viejo Hearing Loss Association. It's changed its name now. It used to be the Hearing Well Club, but she is such a huge advocate, and so I would encourage people to not only support the Mission Viejo Hearing Loss Association group here in Laguna Woods, but to be an advocate for your hearing. If you have a clubhouse that you're participating in and you can't hear, ask to get it looped. Contact Tony, because she is trying to really make a difference.
Now, there's one thing that many musicians actually experience, as well as other people, is called tinnitus. And how does that affect the hearing?
So tinnitus or tinnitus, both pronunciations are correct, is actually a ringing in your ears. And what happens with that is that it's a warning sign from the brain. So the brain is looking for a complete signal, if you will. And if you have hearing loss, it's only getting a partial signal. It's not getting the complete signal. So what happens is there's extra energy in the brain. And I tell people it's like a stubborn 2-year-old. It's going to get attention one way or another. So if I give a 2-year-old a toy, it's gone. If I give the brain a full signal, 85% of the time, the tinnitus goes away. But if it doesn't, there are programs that we can put in a hearing aid to actually help. So when a doctor says, no, there's no help for tinnitus, that's accurate, that there's no medical condition, nothing treatment-wise that we can change it or get rid of it, but there are ways to treat the symptoms. And we do that through hearing aids, and we do that through tinnitus pillows. There's a pillow you can get, because when you're quiet and you're not around a lot of sound, that's when the emotional energy in our brain kicks in, and that center contributes towards the ringing.
Well, that sure is interesting, and I'm sure people can come to you to assist with that. So that's awesome. Now, as I mentioned earlier, you have been on a trip and you went to Uganda. Tell me what you did there.
Yeah, it was so exciting. It was my 3rd time being there. The last time was in 2019. But what we did is we did a medical mission. So we walked alongside the doctors. So there was 6 Ugandan doctors, and they saw 3,200 people in 3 days with $7,000 worth of medicine.
Wow.
Then we also taught women how to use little hand sewing machines, and they were able to make menstrual pads, and teaching them how to make washable pads, because there, if the women are menstruating, and the girls can't go to school because because of that. So they don't have the resources that we have here. So it was teaching them how to sew, and then finally we taught them how to make soap. So we made soap, and again, over an open fire pit, they just did it right there. We do the wooden stick, and showing them how to make the soap so they could sell it and use it. So it was an amazing trip, and we're very excited. And we do have some Ugandan items in the office for those people who are like looking for maybe a special purse or necklace or something.
Oh, that's awesome. Now, the way that you actually get to go to Uganda and bring your services there, and as you call it, hope, is you collect bottles, and they're the plastic bottles. So tell me what someone can do there.
Sure, so everybody wants to make a difference in the world, so what we do is we collect the plastic bottles and the aluminum cans that have the California CRV label.
Okay.
So we don't take milk cartons, we don't take laundry things that can be recycled, only things with the California CRV. But anybody could bring them in, just drop them off at our office. We're located in the Trader Joe Shopping Center, and you just drop them off. And all of those together have made a difference, because we have a trailer and we collect them and fill the trailer, and we use that money also for water wells in Uganda.
Excellent, excellent. Well, thank you so much. I really appreciate you coming in. Nice to see you, and good work.
Thank you. Appreciate being here, and look forward to seeing you again.
You're welcome. All right, if you want more information, you can always get in touch with Amazing Hearing at 949-667-9818. We'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Ann Mundell-Noel, audiologist and owner at Amazing Hearing. As we head into the new year, it's time to focus on making changes and setting goals. In 2022, make a new goal to improve your hearing. At Amazing Hearing, we understand better hearing means better memory, better balance, and most importantly, better communication. Call us to set up your appointment. At Amazing Hearing, we will help you reach your goal.
Hey, beach walkers, grandkid chasers, stair climbers, dance lovers, weekend warriors, and yogis. Your life demands activity, and joint pain shouldn't hold you back. Get personalized joint care that's as unique as you, with high satisfaction rates to prove it. At Memorial Care, your joint replacement patient navigator will be by your side, helping you safely return to more. Like another beach, extra hug, and one more song. More from life is calling with Memorial Care.
Welcome back. Well, today I am joined by Sunshine Lute of the Sunshine Performance Club. Well, Sunshine, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me. We got some exciting stuff going on.
Good. I think that's great. Well, let's talk a little bit about the Sunshine Performance Club and what you guys do and when it all started.
Okay, I'd be happy to do that. Of course, when I came to the village in 1995, I started singing here. I was doing all sorts of stuff, first by myself, then with people, then with my husband, Lloyd Lute. And I lost him in 2005, found David, and David got him to be in the group. And he talked slower and more distinctly than I usually do. And so I said, you got to be the MC. And so he became the MC of our little shows. And in 2007, after we were carting our things, our speakers, our everything that we did, sometimes even the piano, because some places didn't have a piano. So after carting all that around, he said to me, honey, we have the beautiful auditorium. We could sing to more people. We could make it for charity, and we could give people a chance to display their skills and maybe improve their skills and give the village a really nice show. Okay. So that's what happened. That's how it started in 2007. So our very first show was in what they called Clubhouse 3 then, in 2008. And we had 8 performers in our little group at that point. And so everyone had like maybe 3 or 4 songs. And we did I think it was a 90-minute show.
Okay.
90-minute show.
Uh-huh.
And so it was free. And we filled the clubhouse, we filled it. It was absolutely full. And everyone was very kind and gave donations. It was for the Saddleback Memorial. And so we raised $2,700 for them in that free show.
Okay.
And
Now,
we just kept going.
No, that's good. And I know you've been performing since then, and you do things, you do things in one of the clubhouses, and then now, of course, COVID hit, and then you guys have been doing stuff online. So where is the club today?
Well, the club still is doing its weekly show and it's via Zoom still.
Okay.
They now call it the Healthy Aging Center. They used to call it South County Adult Day Services. And
Okay.
we shortened it to SCADS. And so
Right.
we started that long time ago.
Uh-huh.
And so we were doing it live. And then, of course, when March came along, March 6th was the last time we did it for them live. And by the time April came along, I was talking to various people at Alzheimer's Orange County, and we decided to get Zoom going. And so we've been doing Zoom shows ever since. And now that some people are back at the center, they do our Zoom show on the great big TV there at the center.
Okay.
Now, we may be going live, but the nice thing about Zoom is that my individual people that have their guitar set up and they have, it's much easier to do it on Zoom. So I don't know how all that's going to work out. We'll find out. Whether or not we do any more big shows, I don't know if we're going to do that.
Okay.
We did 24 of them and we raised over $100,000 for charity, and I'm very, very happy with that. It feels like my legacy. David's my legacy, and our whole group, because our whole group did it. Without the group, we couldn't have done it.
Right.
So.
Right. Well, you guys still have your, like you said, you still have your Zoom stuff, and you're still showing that. It airs here on Village Television at 8 p.m. every Thursday, which is great. Now, you have a new one that's coming out, or when is that one going? When's the next one going to come out?
During March, what we're going to be showing is the very, very first show that the Sunshine Performance Club did in February 2008.
Okay.
And that was the one where we had 8 performers, 5 fellas and 3 gals, and everybody sang their hearts out, and the audience seemed to really enjoy it.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just a lot of fun. And so we're going to share that with the audience in the village.
Okay.
Via the TV6.
Okay, perfect. Well, sometimes it's good to throw up nostalgic stuff, and they can reminisce and remember all of the great things that you guys did. And I think that's perfect. Well, wonderful. Well, I appreciate you telling me more about the Sunshine Performance Club. Now, if somebody wanted to know more about it, what should they do?
Well, if they would like to even join us in what we're doing, they just give me a call. My number will be on the screen.
Okay.
Or they can write to me in my email, which is easysunshineludi@gmail.com.
Okay.
And we always love to have new people because, it just adds to the variety of things that we do. And if you want to know more about our shows that are on, I have my own Sunshine Ludi YouTube channel, and everything is out there. If you miss something, call me and I can get it to you.
All right, perfect. Sunshine, thank you so much for the information.
You're welcome.
All right. And if you want to know more about Sunshine's charities, you can always go to sunshinecharities.com. We'll be right back.
Picking someone to clean your house is a big decision. After all, they'll be inside your house and touching virtually everything you own. Sadly, though, not all cleaning professionals are actually real pros. Like this person you found online who uses the same sponge in the kitchen they use in the bathroom. If you're looking for a local family-owned business with amazing customer service, contact MaidPro for a free estimate. MaidPro, when you're ready for a real pro.
I'm so happy to recommend Dr. Fairman. I've been going to her for 9 years. She's done implants, crowns, bridges, root canals, and I've been happy with everything that she's done. The staff is so friendly and pleasant, kind, and gentle. I would recommend her to anyone.
We are now fully open for all your dental needs and invite you to come in and experience the brilliant smile difference.
We are close to Gate 6 near Snooty Fox Restaurant behind Coco's.
Our Saturday movie is called Malcolm X, and this is about 144 minutes, so it's it's about 200 minutes, so it's a little bit long, and it is a tribute to the controversial black activist and leader of the struggle for black liberation. He hit bottom during his imprisonment in the 50s, but then he became a black Muslim and then a leader of the Nation of Islam. So you can check this out today at 2 p.m. with subtitles and 6 p.m. without subtitles. And he is played by Denzel Washington. So a great flick to enjoy today. And that's brought to you by Hoag Hospital. Then also, I just wanted to give you a preview of Monday's movie. Monday's movie is called King Richard. Now, I love this movie. It was great. It's about Serena and Venus Williams and their dad and how he just pushed them and how they were so dedicated to the game of tennis. And you can catch that on Monday, 2 p.m. with subtitles, 6 p.m. without subtitles, brought to you by Memorial Care. And then just a couple of quick announcements, of course. Volunteers are still requested for lots of things to do around here in the village, but most importantly for Clubhouse 6. They would like to get that staffed so people and their clubs can have meetings over there. So if you are interested in helping out, call 949-597-4273. All right, let's take a look at our weather before we enjoy the rest of our weekend and come back on Monday. Temperatures are looking pretty good. Today we are looking at about 72-43, 71-44, 74-49. If you are traveling, take a look at these numbers. Local beaches looking about in the 60s, 66, 67, 67. Tahoe, Mammoth, and Big Bear all in the 40s with the overnights still in the teens. Palm Springs 72-50 and Las Vegas 59-37. Have a great day in the village. We will see you again right here on Monday morning at 9 a.m. on Village Television. Bye-bye.
Curious about cannabis for your chronic pain? In a historic step in cannabis research, Dr. Dominguez will follow participants taking Cannasutica, an oral capsule designed for chronic pain. The study is mostly remote and will give you access to top UCI medical professionals. Mayor Sherry Horn had this to say about the trial. Visit UCICannabisstudy.com today to see if you qualify.